everybody, and welcome back to OceanCore, ocean education and everyday solutions for everyone. My name is Lynn, and I want to thank you for being here for the second segment of our microfiber mini-series, What Am I All About? Part 2, Where Do I Come From? Now that you know what microfibers are, essentially super small pieces of multicolored string made of oil, chemical additives, and plasticizers, today we're going to look at where microfibers come from. We don't make microfibers specifically. They tend to break off or are shed from items that are made of synthetic materials or materials made from chemicals, not natural fibers. I have to admit this was the biggest surprise for me when I started my own journey to try and reduce the amount of plastic in my life and in my home. But the majority of microplastics are fibers from either clothes or textiles. That's right, many of the clothes you have in your closet at home are plastic. Other soft and cuddly household items are also made of plastic. But since most people have more clothes than anything else, we'll start with clothes. So it turns out, according to oceancleanwash.org, 62% of our clothing is made of synthetic materials. And an article I found on encia.com done by Mary Catherine O'Connor said that by 2030, 75% of our clothes may be made of synthetic materials. Let's think about that for a minute. That's 107 million tons of synthetic materials, just with clothing. Now, we're fairly familiar with natural materials like cotton, wool, linen, silk, or cashmere, but what are the synthetic materials? Their names are things like polyester, nylon, acrylic, spandex, polar fleece, and wicking fabrics. Some of my favorites, but just to name a few. O'Connor's article also stated that carpeting and upholstery and commercial fishing nets were also sources of microfibers. So the other household items like carpets and curtains and blankets that are made out of synthetic materials also set fibers free when you use them. So here's a good activity. Find everything in your living room made of synthetic materials or plastic. The idea here is just to know where the plastic lives in your home, because if you don't know where it is, you can't make different choices the next time you need to purchase an item or replace an item. Expand the scavenger hunt to other rooms if you like, and definitely check out your closets. Now, commercial fishing nets are also a source of fibers set free into the world. Their normal everyday use involves heat from the sun, friction from use, and water, which breaks fibers loose from their nets and sets them free. Fibers are also shed through the disposal of clothes or plastic household items. So if things are donated, it will still shed in its next useful life. And it also turns out that older synthetic clothes shed more than new ones. But that does not mean that we should stop donating or buying things secondhand. Everything made should be used until it cannot be. Recycled clothing, especially from like old water bottles, have also been shown initially to shed extra fibers. But again, this does not mean that we should not support these kinds of businesses. It's super important to find a use for materials we make until they no longer can be used at all, because nature can't take it back and make something else out of it. So after all of these things that we've stated, the commercial fishing nets and the clothes and all of those household items are thrown away, they continue to break down and release fibers into environments as they continue to degrade and sit there forever. And finally, although there are no studies that I'm aware of at the moment, it's impossible to think that the factories where fabrics or textiles and clothing are made don't contribute in some way, shape, or form. But at this point, I don't know if they are a major source of microfibers in our environment. All of these things, microfibers come from. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to OceanCore's YouTube channel so you don't miss the next segment, Microfibers. Where do I go? Whatever you've learned today, share it forward. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.